So like I was part of the top management. So anybody who earns over an X amount is managed directly by Jill. So my targets were not given by my boss, but by Jill. And my boss knew that it was all unrealistic, but he says, this is Jill. And that's where we were going with it. But I left not because of that, because I think Jill was insisting that I be based in Brussels, and I was not keen to go to Brussels, as my family is in Paris, and I've been here for many, many years. Didn't make sense. And I had a great opportunity coming up on my side with joining this company like Farnext. You should consider it for your own fund, by the way. So it's a small biotech company with 43 employees. We have a phase 3 readout coming out soon before the end of October, so it was good timing. And I felt if I don't do it now, I'll never do it.
What's the name again?
Farnext, P-H-A-R-N-E-X-T. So this is a company where Norwegian Sovereign Fund holds about 1.8% of our equity. I think it's not a bad opportunity to consider. And you can call me directly if you want to know more about it.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and then just understand how when you hit or missed your quarterly numbers, what was the reaction internally? Would you say he's tolerant with?
No, not really. So he's not very tolerant with people. That's why, like I said, surviving 5 years with Jill is like surviving a lifetime is the statement. So within the Brussels office, which is a corporate office, the longest I have seen anybody working is 5 years. Or there is a very select of people who are part of his GOP where he has been with them for a long enough period to trust them and to try to engage them. But I know many people, including many people at a very senior level, where they know that Jill will not, flinch his eyes if he has to get rid of people. He's not typically trying to create a big Eurofins brand. He's not typically trying to do anything. It's very financial way of managing. Super spreadsheet way. Mm-hmm. But it is fast. So, for example, when I wanted to go for acquisitions, I needed sometimes, a couple of million. I just had to write a one-pager explaining him why I wanted to him, and then I would be assigned an M&A person. I would work with that M&A person together to create what we call a simple dossier, a very structured way for acquisitions. I put in all the detail. We send it to Jill. Jill will, within 2 to 3 days, with his handwritten comments, I get it back, I reply, and then I'm done within a week. No committees, no meetings. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and help me understand, when you were looking at these M&A targets, what is it you were looking for? Are there any financial metrics that you had to calculate, any ratios that you had to push forward?
No, you look at a typical P&L. So you look from sales down to EBITDA. You look at the amount of money that they are spending on the reagents, because that's an area where we could optimize quite significantly, especially the smaller labs. The smaller, I mean, you could be a top lab in your country, but your volume could be high, but the level of negotiating power you have with the big guys is very low. So, you know that when you buy it, you can fix that part pretty quickly in terms of what I call a low-hanging fruit. And then in terms of the process optimization, that's an area I think Eurofins is good at, and they are going to keep working. They don't have those competencies yet, but they are working to make it more lean and trying to how to optimize lab operations per se.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's what
And sorry, when it
but they don't want to change the top management, so I would never change the top management. So one of the things I would always look at is leadership, which is able to continue to run the show. So in M&A targets, we rarely acquired companies where the owner said, I want to now go and buy a yacht and sail. We generally look for companies where the owner said, okay, I'm committed to this company and I want to make it bigger. So you put in the money and you acquire it, and then there's an earn-out which we will link up to 3 years or 4 years or even 5 years. And then he or she is financially incentivized, he's fully dedicated, he's fully engaged, and he's driving the business.
Got it.
But I think that earn-out story is now more or less dead. I think there were some legal cases, and now I think Jill was trying to tell us, okay, don't go on the earn-out model, look at some different models.
Okay. And how can you walk us through the integration process when you made these acquisitions? What is it that you guys try to change at the labs you were acquiring, and is it just back office?
Purchasing, finance, and IT. And finance and IT is a question mark, sometimes not even that. So least amount of disruption to their normal process was the objective. That least, if we can add value to them in bringing them access, so for example, Genoma, which we acquired in Italy, right? Genoma was a purely Italian company. I was setting up Salesforce all around. I saw that they could do NIPT at a much cheaper cost.